Come on, Team Cowboys!
Angry Cowboys fan, are you down the line? Angry Cowboys fan, are you down to ride? Drop a like on the video, go ahead and subscribe.
What's going on, Cowboys Nation and angry Cowboys fans around the world? Y'all know who it is. It's your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. And on this morning's episode of Get Up, Mike Greenberg, Kimberly Martin, Damen Woody, and Harry Douglas discuss the Dallas Cowboys and the most recent antics from Jerry Jones during the first press conference of the Dallas Cowboys 2025 training camp. Cowboys Nation, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. You can tell what the issue is if you just take a step back and really look at this Dallas Cowboys organization. Everyone sees it except for Jerry Jones. Mike Greenberg goes into a rant when it comes to the distraction that Jerry Jones causes when it comes to these out in the open contract negotiations. Jerry loves to partake in those, by the way, especially when it's during the most important time for a team and coaching staff, training camp. I feel the exact same way Mike Greenberg felt. So we're going to take a listen to the 3 clips that I got for y'all, and y'all know what we're going to do after that. We're going to come back and unpack this raw and uncut. So, angry Cowboys fans, let's take a listen to what the crew of Get Up had to say.
I feel like any energy that at this moment distracts or detracts from what we should be doing at the beginning of training camp, where everyone's spirits are high. You got Micah Parsons seeking out reporters. You got Trayvon Diggs standing next to him like his hype man, like firing him up to be like, yeah, TJ Watt got paid, and Myles Garrett got paid, and all these guys got paid. Why the hell are you not paying me for? And all of us are sitting here going, you know, he's right. Why the hell are they not paying him for? I feel like that, I don't know if it'll wind up hurting them this season, but it can't help, and there's no reason for it.
Let me find out that Mike Greenberg talking about that Micah Parsons is Chuck D, and you got Trayvon Diggs over there who's Flavor Flav. But anyway, first and foremost, I'm not going to hate on Trayvon Diggs for being right there beside Micah Parsons during that interview, because they was asking Trayvon Diggs questions as well. It also shows that brotherhood that those two men have. Whatever you got to say about me, you can say in front of Diggs and vice versa. So I don't mind that, but where Greeny and I agree is about the energy that Jerry Jones dispenses and has dispensed for the past 30 years when it comes to this Dallas Cowboys football team. He's absolutely right. It doesn't help situations when the team has to go behind Jerry and clean up his statements that throw all the other players under the bus. They should be worried about one thing and one thing only: football. But now jumping into the second clip, Damen Woody tries to justify the actions of Jerry Jones. So let's take a listen so we can come back and talk about it. Let's roll that clip.
Here's what I want to say. This is what I know about the Dallas Cowboys. Number one, they pay their stars.
Right.
We paid 2 off seasons ago. We were literally every day talking about, when is that going to get paid? When is that going to get paid? And then he got paid when? The day of the opener against the Cleveland Browns.
Right.
That's number one. Number 2, Jerry loves this, Greeny.
Yeah.
Greeny, you've been in this business long enough to know Jerry eats this up. He eats up when he has these press conferences and they have all this drama with Micah and now, Trayvon. He eats this up because ultimately Jerry's the ultimate marketer. He wants us to be fed and drawn into all of this.
Greeny's-
All right. He's the ultimate marketer. Jerry Jones loves this. That don't make it right, though, Damen Woody. Even though this is true about the Dallas Cowboys, that doesn't mean that it's good practice. I don't care if Jerry Jones eats all the drama up. It's not a good look when it comes to Dallas Cowboys football. It doesn't help what the Dallas Cowboys football team is trying to accomplish, and that's winning a Super Bowl championship. How is putting your star player down gonna get you further to that goal? It won't, Jerry Jones. It'll get your best player requesting a trade up out of Dallas. That's what it'll get. But jumping into the final clip, Kimberly Martin asks a great question and then opens it back up to the floor of the panel. So we're going to take a listen to that so we can come back and unpack this raw and uncut.
Why are we talking about very simple contract stuff where you got to pay Micah when Jerry could be at the podium saying, CD, George Pickens, you better watch out for us.
Yeah.
We are a Super Bowl caliber team with the roster that I've built.
Because that's not in his DNA.
Yeah,
That's right.
You think Jerry Jones didn't just see the Los Angeles Lakers get sold for $10 billion? And the Cowboys right now are worth 10.1? Oh, we got to up the ante. The Lakers are close to us? Oh, no, we got to up the ante. Jerry Jones sees all these things.
He needs to stop programming the A block and get up and start getting his best players signed.
That's exactly what I'm talking about, Miss Martin and Greeny. Why are the Dallas Cowboys ownership up there talking about their best player instead of talking about football? You know what, Cowboys Nation? Let's crack it open. Y'all ready for this raw and uncut? Y'all ready? Let's get it. All right, Cowboys Nation. It's stuff like this that takes the team, the players, and the fan base away from the ultimate prize. Now, because of Jerry Jones, the team has to focus on the words that he chose to use during that dumbass press conference. Forget the knowledge that Brian Schottenheimer was trying to interject into that press conference. Everyone left with the soundbite that they were looking for. A soundbite that would have every talking head talking about the more dysfunction at the Star and not football. But during a time where you see it all coming together, during a time where you see the players are pumped up to be around football and their brothers, during a time where these young men feel motivated, Jerry Jones wants to be the one to throw a wet blanket on the situation. For those who want to say that at some point the players have to take accountability, that the ownership doesn't go out there and throw passes, this is why I say it starts with the ownership. This is why I say that it starts from the top down. It's like parents getting into a huge fight in front of their kid, and then their kid goes to school and has a bad day. Sure, that kid may know right from wrong, but they acted out because of what he or she witnessed from their parents before school. That's exactly the same with this front office, Cowboys Nation. Then when these players go out there and they match that same energy, I get people in the comments section saying that they should keep their mouths closed. Funny thing is, I've also heard that Dak Prescott needs to speak up more when it came to his contract negotiations. So which one is it, Cowboys Nation? Should these players be mindless ogres that just shut up and play ball? Or are they sons, fathers, brothers, uncles, nephews, or cousins that just want to create generational wealth for their families? Not only do these players not have a sense of security the more they wait, but I bet it also sends that message of the ownership not appreciating you as a player and a person. When you hear a player like Micah Parsons refer to understanding the business, that's a nice way of saying that they're just a number and a talent. When they don't fit what the ownership wants to do, then they send them packing. I understand that to be the way of business, but there's also a way of getting these men to want to run through a brick wall for the organization as well. Talking about the players or mispronouncing the top player's name is not a way to create a positive environment within this organization. That's Jerry Jones's fault, Cowboys Nation. Not Dak, not Micah, not CD, not one of those players on the field. That's the owner/GM. But those fans who want to say Jerry Jones doesn't throw a pass doesn't realize that the players don't elect to put their own business out on Front Street, Cowboys Nation. The players don't want to wait until the last minute to sign themselves and then complain when the salary cap is allegedly tight. They don't get rid of talent because they don't see eye to eye with them. The players don't ignore the coaching staff when there are glaring holes that needed to be filled on this team and they just ignore them. The players weren't the ones who didn't pick up the phone to call Derrick Henry, Saquon Barkley, Nick Chubb, and the list goes on. That's all Jerry and Stephen Jones. And I commented in my last video. If you haven't seen that last video, I highly suggest that you go see it. But Stephen Jones made it perfectly clear that it isn't Jerry Jones talking to these agents or their clients about the contracts. That's all Stephen Jones himself not picking up the phone and getting the deal done. If that's the case, then Jerry is that face of the franchise, but he is also the ultimate check signer, so all of it falls on him. And to keep it a buck, Stephen Jones did try to shut up talking about Micah Parsons' contract, but Jerry Jones couldn't stop it. He couldn't help himself. He couldn't shut the hell up, and he had to interject his unwanted opinions in the mix. Unwanted by Cowboys Nation, but loved by the media. But we talk about the philosophies and the culture of this team, but fail to realize that the coaches and players have to be given permission in order to establish said culture and philosophy for this team. If the ownership continues to blur the line between front office and football operations, then we won't get far. If the ownership continues to try to play 3D checkers when the league is playing 4D chess, then we will remain in the same spot we have been for the last 30 years. And also, I don't blame Stephen Jones for the media circus as much as I do Jerry Jones. You can see Stephen trying to put a stop to the Micah Parsons conversation, but the media allowed Jerry Jones to continue his word salad to the detriment of what Stephen and Shotty are trying to do. So Jerry, go back to that little cave that you were in before training camp. Go back to that little rock that you were under before that press conference. Continue to make the transition to a Stephen Jones-owned Dallas Cowboys and not a Jerry Jones-owned Dallas Cowboys. At least him and Brian Schottenheimer had Cowboys Nation optimistic. All that shit went out the window as soon as Jerry Jones stepped in front of a mic. So if the conductor of our team's failures isn't evident by now, then it'll never be evident to you. It'll never be clear. The players have a clear vision on what they want to do and where they want to be at the end of this season. The coaching staff has a clear vision of what they want to do and where they want to be at the end of the season. The culture is being set and the philosophy is being established. Then here goes Jerry Jones jumping in front of the camera screaming, look at me, I'm still Jerry Jones," not realizing, like with older coaches, there comes a time when older owners need to give the keys to a more responsible driver. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan. Cowboys Nation, do you feel what I'm saying? If you're the front office, would you be bringing all this unwanted attention to your team right before training camp? Y'all know how we do it. We always talk about it in the comment section. If you're digging this content and want to help the channel chip away at its current milestone of 20K, drop a like on this video and please consider sharing it with anybody that you know is a Dallas Cowboys fan. If you are DC for life and want Jerry Jones to just step the hell away from the team and allow Stephen Jones to do it, hit that subscribe button. Hit the bell to be notified whenever I go live, release a video, podcast episode, film breakdown, or Madden 25 or College Football 26 gameplay. There was a reporter that asked Jerry Jones if he ever thought of giving up that GM title. If I were Stephen Jones, I would get everybody together, have that hard conversation, and come to the conclusion that Jerry is bad for football operations. But this has been your man, the Angry Cowboys fan, and I'm out. Dang, Angry Cowboys fan, you done made it through the entire video. But if you want more content, you can definitely go to this video right here. Or if you want the latest episode of the Angry Cowboys fan podcast, you can go right here. But whatever you do, like, share, and subscribe to the channel, but remain DC for life.